together, and it's just fun competing out here. You guys see who's the best.
Think you're the best quarterback here?
So far, I want to be the best. I'm not saying I am the best, but I want to be the best. I feel like I've done the best here, and I'm just going to continue to do that.
What separates you from the other quarterbacks here at Max X?
I think just leadership, keeping footwork, keeping composure when things get rough, and never get rattled.
So, are those things that separate you from everybody else? What's your strengths?
Strengths is poise, and when things get rough, stay humble, stay together as a team, and don't ever give up on anybody.
Okay, and those are teams, but your individual, as far as the QB is concerned, what stands out about you?
Probably my poise under pressure.
Okay. What about your arm? Do you have anybody that you pattern yourself after, whether it's in college or the pros? Is there another quarterback?
Russell Wilson, probably the most important.
Russell Wilson? Okay. And tell me a little bit about your year last year, how that went.
Last year, I didn't play 3 games due to injury. And 6 games, we did pretty well. We were 7-3. And I'm going to transfer this year, so the year didn't really go how I expected, but it was decent. Quarterbacks at the high school I'm at right now, because I've only had one workout, he wasn't there. But Max X is very competitive, and it's the most talent I've ever been around.
And what are some of the things that you feel you need to work on?
Work on probably just staying together and compact all the time, and repetition. Always be consistent, so consistency.
And talk about some of the instruction you've received here so far.
Coach Morris says just open your hips, stay tight, and always finish through with your thumb down, and just stay together in front of me.
As far as the future, what do you want out of football?
Football, I want to go to the next level at the University of Pittsburgh, and I want to hopefully continue my dreams, go to the NFL.
Pretty sweet right there. Unbelievably believable.
Morris, been with Max X 3 years now. Got on board because both of my sons are involved in the program. Great program. Great guys around it. Curtis Blackwell's great with the kids, and he invests in more than just football into the kids.
Great. And we talk a little bit about your son, Shane. I see he's going to be going to the University of Michigan, and he committed rather early, did he? Did he not?
Committed in May of his sophomore year. It's where he wanted to be. He didn't want to drag out his recruiting. He knew that's where he wanted to be, so he chose Michigan.
A little bit about the process of getting him prepared to be a top prospect. How did that? Just give me a little insight of how you help prepare him for where he's at now.
Actually, we kind of just did the mom and dad thing, and Curtis Blackwell and his coaches at the high school had a heavy hand in it. This program, what it did was it introduced this whole world, the recruiting world, and all the top prospects, and it made him hungry. And from there, the rest was history. His first trip was down to Alabama as a freshman. It was an eye-opening experience, and I would recommend any parent get your kids involved, early and often.
And talk a little bit. I see that you're coaching the quarterbacks, and we're at today's practice. Give me a little insight into today's practice. Somebody that stood out to you. Talk a little bit about the competition today, some of the quarterbacks that shine.
Every one of them have their own thing that they did well at. Obviously, because you have anywhere from 8th graders to juniors, different levels. J. Rue Campbell looked good. Jalen Brady looked good. And every one of these boys had their moments. Obviously, you can tell some of the kids that have been doing it a little bit longer than the others. They're all very coachable. They're all hungry, great kids. They're all pretty sharp. It's a great group. I don't want to leave anyone out. Every one of them is a great group.
But as you know, being a dad of a quarterback, there's only a couple spots when it gets down to that who's going to be that guy. And that's what we're here for. We're here to talk. This is competition. Nothing is given to anybody. Talk a little bit, where do you see the competition going? I mean, you got a kid from Brother Rice, Malzone, you got a kid from Troy Athens, you got a few quality quarterbacks here.
You know, honestly, after the very first week, I had spoke to a couple of the other coaches, and when we first came out here, it seemed like there was like 2 or 3 good quarterbacks. Not this year, 2-3 years ago, and 2 or 3 guys really stood out above everybody else. That gap seems to have closed, gotten closer. I think the kids are working more year-round. They have personal coaches, and they're involved with their high school teams, doing things more often. It's a great group of kids. They have to push themselves. You can't just be the most physically gifted guy now.
Believe me when I tell you it helps a lot of people, because even though a lot of these people do get aid from the state, this little bit helps also at the end of the month when their moms have no money and they have no food stamps left on their bridge card, and it does help a lot of people.
And that means a lot when you're that far down, to be able to eat like normal people and feel like you are still normal.
Henri Laney wants to know,
what's the best way to save on my energy bill?
well, Henri, I've brought Jason here from DTE Energy to show you how to do it.
Okay.
The first thing we're going to do is change out all your bulbs to CFLs. Then we're going to check the caulking around your windows and your door frames and install a programmable thermostat. These simple installations can save about 10% off your energy bill.
Wow, 10%?
The amazing thing is that DTE Energy will do the same free consultation for any customer.
I never knew.
That's what I'm here for. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
Alex Mossad, Troy High School. Alex Mossad in the class of 2015 has to be one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the state of Michigan. Alex Mossad has really come onto the scene strong for the maximum exposure program this year, and we're really looking forward to him showcasing his talents in the upcoming camps and 7-on-7 tournament. He has a strong arm and he has the ability to make the right reads and 7-on-7 coverage. And then we're thinking that in the future, Alex Mossad will be probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in his senior class. Look for Alex Mossad to steadily grow and develop through the reps that he'll get in all the 7-on-7 tournaments and even possibly the #1 quarterback in our program. No one in our program right now has a bigger upside than Alex Mossad. He has grown the most over the past 4 or 5 weeks since we have began our program, and we think that Alex Mossad has all of the skills that are needed to be top quarterback in the state of Michigan in 2015.
Now I'm on the road, $500,000 for a show, and we started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
On-7 program here at Maximum Exposure. Quarterback position is by far the most important and influential part of our entire program. 7-on-7 is predicated upon great quarterback play, and Maximum Exposure has been strong because of past quarterbacks like Shane Morris, University of Michigan, Alex Nisnak, Central Michigan, and Brian Blackburn, University of Toledo. This year, Maximum Exposure program only has one returning quarterback, Jalen Brady. He's a 2014 quarterback who is the early on favorite to be the #1 quarterback for Maximum Exposure because of his familiarity with the program, having traveled to national tournaments, and being exposed to the national competition. However, we have a strong contingent of young quarterbacks who have the skill set to be equally as successful in the Maximum Exposure program as previous quarterbacks like Shane Morris and Brian Blackburn and Alex Nisnak. John Campbell by far has the highest amount of experience coming in having won two state championships and already having a natural ability to make the big play. However, young guys like Mikey Raw from East Grand Rapids and Alex Lassat from Troy High School have an opportunity to really showcase themselves within the program because they have shown that repetitions in the offseason can really translate to success in the fall programs that they will go into when they leave our maximum exposure program. So this quarterback competition is going to be a tight race throughout the winter time, and early spring we will see someone separate themselves from the pack. But right now, look forward to great competition and seeing who is going to be the number one quarterback for the maximum exposure program.
And, I have two sons who participated in MaxX. Jack, he's graduating from the program this year as a wide receiver, and Jared's an outside linebacker, strong safety. He'll be a senior in the program this year. And he's been involved really the last 3 or 4 years, and it's been a great experience for them, both football-wise, on the field and off the field.
How did Adidas get involved with MaxX and Curtis? Tell me a little bit how that relationship was forged.
We got involved about 6 years ago. I was with Adidas and Reebok, and Alan Hughes, a buddy of mine, and he worked with Curtis at PAL, made some shirts for their first camp, and then we've just grown with them each year. The last 3 or 4 years, we've been really totally involved, and Adidas really sees the benefits of being involved in this program, helping the youth in the state of Michigan, helping to grow football in this state, and all the positive things, both on the field and off the field, the programs that they're doing here, and that's why they want to get involved.
Hey, safety.
On the next episode of MaxX TV, we profile guest defensive back coach Derek Tatum from Atlanta, Georgia, and the defensive backs of MaxX.
Hey, coach, want to play linebacker for you? Coach, I will. Want to play linebacker? What up, boy? Hey, bro, I thought you was ready.